Hi everyone, LiberAnarchy here. First, I'd like to wish everyone a happy holiday season, whether it's Yule, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, etc. Um, and secondly, I would like to jump into the actual topic of this video without a huge long segue, so that's what I'm going to do now. So this year is always a strange time of year for me. I often feel like there are invisible people wandering around the kitchen at night. But it's funny because I do feel like there are invisible people walking around the kitchen at night. Of course, I can go downstairs and turn the lights on and say, oh, okay, there are actual people here. It's like the sensation of feeling like you're being watched, but you look around and, oh, nobody's watching you, or something like that. It's very similar to that. And it's not really scary. It's just one of those things that happens. And so this time of year, this year, the weirdness hasn't necessarily been unfolding quite in quite the same way, but it's still been unfolding, and I've been feeling a lot of unusual things. Now, those of you who are unfamiliar with Satanism will probably be interested to learn that self-deception is one of the satanic sins. Self-honesty is very, very important to Satanism, and that's one of the things that brought me to Satanism. I'm a big believer in self-honesty, and as an example, if you lust, don't tell yourself that it's bad or that you're not lusting. Just lust and make responsible decisions accordingly. Do you want to have a one night stand? Do you want to do it bareback? Do you really want the consequences? Or do you want to have safe sex? Or do you want to just not get involved because somebody is a complete drama case? Or do you want to wait until you actually get to know the person and, establish a deeper connection? Some do, some don't. The point is, in that situation, if you lust. Don't feel ashamed. Don't lie to yourself. Don't tell yourself that you shouldn't be feeling what you're feeling. The same is true for things like if you're gay or bisexual or transgender. Be honest with yourself about how you feel and who you are and who you love and what your identity is inside, rather than what society tells you you are, right? There's a lot of gay people who, because of self-deception, I'm running off on a big long tangent, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of gay people who, because of this self-deception, they pretend not to be gay, and they pretend not to be gay, and they are miserable, and they end up making other people miserable. And self-honesty doesn't just equate to something like being honest with yourself about being gay or something. It also equates to, well, maybe you're not happy in the rat race. Maybe you are going to want to try to make money for yourself doing something unconventional. Or maybe you're not happy seeking after money and status, so at some point you're going to say, okay, I don't mind living in a trailer. I would prefer living in a trailer to, putting forth the time and effort into seeking money and status and stuff like that. So, but anyway, Um, or maybe you feel obliged to associate with your family, but really, honestly, you don't want to associate with your family. They make you miserable. Right? So self-honesty is, I mean, it's a good thing, in my opinion. So, um, what I've decided is that if I'm going to be honest with myself and I'm going to live a happier life because of it, I'm going to have to strike a balance between agnosticism and some, I guess, some level of religiosity, or at least some level of what could be referred to as spirituality. Um, because it is within me to be, for lack of a better word, to be heathen. However, it's not within me to believe it in a literal way. I mean, show me the gods. No, I'm sorry, they're just not there. And you can tell me about feeling the gods all you want, and I could tell you about the same damn thing. And you could tell me about very interesting synchronistic experiences, and I could tell you about the same thing. But in the literal world of of vaccinations, the internet, space travel, etc., these things aren't there. I mean, unless, of course, you can show me in a testable way, in a repeatable way, and sure, yeah, I'll believe, but until then, I'm sorry, it's not there. But that doesn't mean that it's not there in my own mind. It doesn't mean that it's not there in my heart. It doesn't mean that it is not part of my own world. It does not mean that it's not part of my subjective reality. So what I'm going to have to do is find a way to balance my subjective reality with my, well, I don't even want to call it objective, because we can have input about what would be considered the objective world, but we aren't actually perceiving the objective world. But that's a whole nother rant. My point is, I'm going to have to find a balance between the reality that I live in, what is within me, and the reality that can at least be tested and lined up, and people can compare notes and come out with the same damn thing, instead of comparing notes and then having a religion fight. So, and I don't mean to condescend to anybody. That's not what I'm here to do. In fact, I understand. Believe me, I get what it's like to believe, because I did believe in the conventional sense. And I believe different things, actually, and I've been very sincere about it. But if I'm going to be honest with myself, I'm going to have to acknowledge what I feel. And if I'm going to be happy, I'm going to have to go with that. But I'm also going to have to do it in a way that is not, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, that isn't irrational, isn't, shit, I don't have the word, but I want to do it in a fairly rational, anyway, coherent way, and I don't want to do it in a way that somehow makes the rest of the world a worse place to live. I don't want to do it in a way where I am forcing myself to pretend to believe things that I really don't believe, because that's equally dishonest. And that's ultimately why I deconverted, because I couldn't believe literally, and in the sense that most everyone else did. And there are certainly pagans of many types who believe that the gods are expressions of ourselves and different parts of ourselves and different aspects of humanity, etc. Cool. But um, I could not believe in the gods as in actual external entities that exist in the same way that you, me, and everything exists. So, yeah. So I'm going to have to find a balance, because I'm going to be less happy if I just don't acknowledge and address, I guess you could say, feelings that I have. This conception, this my own internal world, my own internal landscape. But yeah. So there you have it. And I'm kind of expecting to be made fun of, like as though I'm coming out like the woods of Jordan. I'm Fundy. I deconverted. I'm a Mormon. I'm not a Mormon. I'm a pretty hardcore Christian again. Da, da, da. Yeah, I mean, but what are you gonna do? I mean, it's YouTube. I mean, everything sucks on YouTube. You say hello on YouTube, somebody's gonna tell you you suck or make fun of you. So, what are you gonna do? Yeah, so, there you go. Alright. So, again, happy holidays, and I'll see you guys later.